There we go. Yeah. Oh. Good evening and welcome to SAS Sober and Smiling. My name's Rob.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Damon.
So, welcome to episode 31. We are going to talk about deprogramming because I believe that it's in the news and it's gone viral about deprogramming from certain meetings. And the big topic seems to be, can you get sober and can you remain in recovery without meetings? So it's your subject, Nick. So you crack on, mate, and then we'll all jump in. But there's a fair bit to talk about, obviously. So
Which I was going to start it. I just seen it earlier, like saying people. It seemed to be about the whole deprogramming thing from meetings and that, because there's the certain influences behind it, and then the one topic that seems to keeps coming up is can you get sober or recover without meeting and that? And it is a very good question in itself. But me personally, I can't talk. I did AA for about 5-6 years and that. So for me, the meetings did help a lot in the early days, no doubt. But even I got to a point where they have kind of, in recent times, they've kind of stopped working for me. That's why I've not really attended meetings. But I've not felt like, oh God, because I'm missing a meeting, that I was suddenly like, no, I've just been going about my daily business, doing the usual thing, and I'm feeling fine about it. I know everyone's different, and that everyone, especially like the newcomer and that, newcomers or people wanting to come off. I would say to at least try a meeting to see how you feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's everyone. Like I say, everyone's different.
So do you miss a meeting?
If I'm honest, truthfully honest, no, not really.
Because the old sort of like adage that you get told in meetings is that if you don't go to a meeting sort of like 2 or 3 times or whatever, then you'll notice a difference. And I certainly always did notice a difference when I was going to meetings. I noticed if I skipped a few, then I would become a bit more jittery and everything else. Do you think now that you don't do that and you don't go to meetings, that this is replacing it, what you're doing here?
Oh, 100%. 100%, because I'm still doing the thing of meeting up with like-minded people, and that, and we talk about things and that. But I just think what does most for me, especially doing this podcast, is in theory, it's not just us not talking. We're talking to like millions of people out there as well.
Millions, it's...
No, listen, don't be fucked up. Throw it open, come on.
If we got viral, maybe.
But no, this to me has replaced it to a certain degree, because I said we are doing kind of the same thing in that, and I'm going to be honest, my personal feelings on meetings, I didn't take to the whole God thing and that. Okay, I always said the 12-step, the whole 12-step program, I think is brilliant, and it has saved so many lives, and I can't never ever speak ill of it in that respect. But the God thing we never sat well, but that's just belief I've had since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And I tried, in the early days, I tried to sort of bend to it, but I just, like a lot of things, I read the book, and I just kept thinking, oh yes, that makes sense, that's good, that's fine. But then I was reading other things, and I'm like, but that's hypocritical. That you're saying this here, like the one where they say you're powerless over alcohol, and that, and you have to hand yourself over to God daily. But then they want you to sponsor people and be responsible for them. So to do that, you've got to have a certain degree of power.
Yeah.
It made no sense to me in that. So I'd made of it what I did, and made my own sort of program, and just cut that sort of stuff out.
So do you think that you've deprogrammed from meetings?
To a certain degree, yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah. No, I must admit, for me, I'm a bit like you, really. I probably spent whatever it was 5 years in meetings through one particular meeting, and at the time, yeah, absolutely, I couldn't have done it without them. I really couldn't.
So I would put both hands up and say, if it was for AA meetings, I will say that.
Yeah, but I think now stepping back from it, and I don't do any meetings at all. Same as you, really. I do this, and this replaces it, because no matter what happens in recovery, I think you've got to be around like-minded people. You've got to be in the company of addicts, and you've got to be able to speak to them, because you won't get a sensible conversation out of a normal person if you try and, because you just have to, your feelings have to come out every single week, and if you're not around people like us, then that won't happen.
And normal people to a certain extent. I've tried to explain addiction to some people, and it's not. They just don't, like you said, they don't get it because they've not got that mindset of, oh, if you want to stop doing something, just stop doing something.
Yeah,
It's, well, that's all right for you to say. You know, if you go out on Friday night, I'll drink, not worry about it Saturday. I can't do that.
No.
It's not for lack of, I don't want to do it on Saturday. It's more, well, I did it last night, I might as well fucking do it tonight.
Yeah.
And it's that thought process that I'm not able to put a block on. You know, that's what'll drive me, not the thought of I don't need to do this. The thought it's, you know, it'll drive me to just go and do it again. But I will say, in regards to meetings and coming to meetings, I know when I first started, you know, my recovery journey, meetings, they were really important, and they still are important now. But I did realise, you know, I'm transitioning jobs 2 or 3 times, and I've had jobs that have sort of where I've not been able to attend meetings, and I didn't relapse, but I did notice that I wasn't getting, I wasn't happy missing the meetings.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't able to come and have those conversations, be around people that understood me. Do you know what I mean? And I think I told you when you used to say, you know, you need to put your recovery first, and you know, I'd always say I've got to pay my bills as well at the same time. It's balancing the two. And for me, I had to, you know, to leave jobs where it's like that, because I know this for me is more beneficial than some job I don't like is taking me away from it. So where I didn't relapse, it wasn't great that I wasn't coming. I could definitely feel the change in me.
Well, that's what I mean. But the relapse, you know, it's like, you know, it's kind of gradual when you come to it. Like I say, you pack your meetings up, you stop doing your routine, you stop doing this, you stop doing that, and then eventually it'll bite you in the arse. But I'm not saying you were there, but if you'd have kept going down that route, you'd have slowly gone downhill. The next thing you know, you picked a drink or a dog again. Because, you know, that's generally how it goes for me. But
no, I mean you know, and that's where I've decided that I need to go back to, you know, my old job where I'm going to go back to now, because even though, you know, I'm coming to the meetings regular, I'm doing this regular on Thursdays, but I'm being dragged down by the job I'm in at the minute. But it's just making me really unhappy. The only enjoyment I'm getting at the moment in a week is Tuesday nights and Thursday nights.
Yeah.
I can't be unhappy 5 days a week.
No,
it's just not.
Do
you know what I mean? It can be done, because I'm not that person that can just be content with having a job and paying bills. It's not, you know, in addiction, you can put up with it to a certain extent because it's paying for the addiction, and that's what drives you.
Yeah.
But now I'm not, you know, now I'm not using, I don't have to do that anymore. I can change that. If I'm unhappy, go find something that makes you happy.
Yeah, exactly.
On the subject of the meetings and stuff, and that, yes, we can all see a difference when you don't go to meetings. Is that, and this, I think this is what people that are sending all this file are trying to make a point of, is that because, not because of the meeting, because the meetings, you are, if you're in certain types of meeting, you are programmed. It's almost like the C word. It's almost like the cult, that you are programmed to a certain way to do a certain stuff. Are you missing that, or are you just missing the company? Because for me, it's just the company talking.
I've got to say,
speaking your truth, and getting everything out there that you can only tell another addict even if it's just cram, but you can only talk to another addict, or is it the actual programming of a meeting that you're missing?
I think for me, in the early days, and like, so when I've been in, when I've been in recovery before and it's not turned out very well, I actually think I was doing it to keep my routine and keep that program in place. But the better I've gotten, the more I've learned about addiction and how it works. It's more about being around people like me now.
Yeah.
But like I say, I'm fortunate really because of what I do. I mean, I'm literally around people all the time. It's like me on one-to-one, so that keeps me in a good place. And and I like I say, I enjoy the Tuesday night meeting. I enjoy doing this meeting. But and I sort of like think, fuck, am I going to do these? Am I going to do these for the rest of my life? It scares the shit out of me a bit really, because I'm thinking, do I really want to do that for the rest of my life? But I just have to think, well, I'm all right doing it today, so why do I have to keep thinking about what I'm doing in 6 months' time or a year down the line? Because it don't work like that, does it?
No.
My head doesn't like feeling uncomfortable like that. So as long as I keep, I'm all right, I'm happy doing it today, then and that's all that matters really.
Yeah.
I think if you can find, if you can find a group that works for you, because we all know it's not a one size fits all.
No.
You've got to find a group in a room that works for you. And luckily in our meeting, in our group, there's a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of similarities. You have similar mindsets. You can have the same sense of humours. Because addiction can grow a dark sense of humour, and a lot of people wouldn't laugh at the things you laugh at. But they haven't seen the things you've seen, or been through the things you've been through. So I think sometimes it depends on the people in the room. So not every room or every meeting is going to work for every person.
No, and that's right. I mean, I've tried NA meetings, AA meetings, and I don't like them. It's because I don't get them. That's why I like that CA one. But obviously this one, I really like this one because we're talking the truth with around people like me, and although it's not a meeting as such, it is still like a meeting.
I treat it as a meeting. Basically, I treat it as my sort of like personal recovery top up. Without a doubt. I think without this, or without me doing something every week, then yes, I'd be on the slippery slope. I think you have to do. Well, for me, I have to do something like this every single week. Otherwise, that will lead me to a relapse. Because if I don't talk to people like you, or this forces us to tell the truth, because you can't get away from this. What we're doing on video and everything else, and this forces you to bring your feelings out and your softer side that you've hidden away for years and years and years. So. Yeah, without this, I think I'll be fucked within a few months. So yes, we need to do something, I think, and you need to be around people, and without a doubt. But if meetings help other people, then brilliant. I personally don't care what people do. If something works, then you do it. If you're in recovery, whatever works for you, whether it's a meeting or anything else, it's nobody else's business, is it?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No one can tell you how to.
No, if you're staying sober and you're happy and it's working, why do you have to listen to what somebody else is doing? Following the.
It's like the same thing.
I think it can come down to your experiences that lead you to addiction now as well, and the things that you do in addiction, as to whether you feel you've got the strength to do it without that outside help, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd like to say, I don't think, especially when you're new to it, I from my personal experience, you can't do it on your own. As much as you think you can, you can't do it on your own. You need that help and you need that guidance. And once you get it, you could be left to your own free regs then. But like I say, it's on you then. But I feel like you need to be told how addiction works, and I think
pointed in the right direction.
Yeah. And I think that's for me, that's why I've obviously I've been in rehab 4 times, and 3 of those times it was a 12-step program, and it was all quite God focused. But the God thing didn't work for me. I tried it the second time I went in. Second time I went to rehab, I tried to kind of believe in all that, and it didn't work for me. And this time round, I've kind of you know, I've got the bits out of it that I feel like have worked,
Mm.
you know, and then put my own spin on it. And then, because I've got like this neuroscience kind of addiction coaching thing now, it shows you a different way of looking at it. It's a bit like how we look at it, really.
Yeah.
You know, looking at it a completely different way around. And when you kind of look at yourself and your behaviours, because like I say, I'm still like a big believer that drinking drugs are addictive. It's our way of thinking. Yeah, because if drinking drugs were addictive, everybody would be addicted.
Everybody's had a drink at some point in their life, even if they don't drink now. You know, they've done it when they were,
you know, and a good way for me to kind of put that to, you know, its test and kind of the truth around it. You know, I've got 8 really good friends. That, you know, hit it as hard as me from probably 16 to 30 odd years old.
Mm.
You know, and all them have, you know, got married, had kids, knocked it on the head.
Exactly. Why can they?
Why can they do it and I can't?
And you can't.
Yeah.
So it's got to be. There's no two ways about it. It's got to be up there, hasn't it? It's got to be a mental disease.
Yeah. So
Just got to be.
it's like a mental disease, but again, that disease, I feel like you're born with it. You know, it's something that's passed in you. It's in your genes. It's in your DNA. Like ADHD or autism or something like that. It's an, you know, it's an ism, and you've got it. It's there.
So, see, I think there's opportunity for like real research there. You know, if you get like 8 addicts in a room and 8 normal people that can go out on Friday night and not be worried about it, and just see what happens in their minds when they think about these substances.
Yeah, well, they don't
see what lights up, see what.
Yeah. Well, they don't think like us. You know, I mean, when I didn't think I was bad, you know, when I was younger, I'd have planned my night, where I was going, how many drinks I was going to have in each pub, and where I was going to end up. You know, and everyone you say to me, like you're on a mission, you know, trying to get your drinks down, because I knew I was having 3 in that pub and was moving on to the next pub. So I was always thinking about the next drink everywhere all the time. It's like I was always in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Can't you know, I've got enough for this amount of drinks. How long am I going to be out? I need to borrow 20 quid.
Normal people don't think like that. Normal people don't have that kind of mindset. You know, if I knew I was going out, I knew I was going out to get pissed, and I'd be drinking that there, and that there. Then I'd be on that at this time, and it was like it would be all done to the, you know, military precision. But a normal person doesn't think like that. They just think they're going out and have a drink and see where the night takes them.
Yeah.
No, they've been smashed by 9 o'clock.
And you know, as well, it's, you know, 90%, 95% of the people that I've spoke to or I've been in rehab with, there's addiction or some form of alcoholism in the family tree somewhere, whether it's a granddad, an uncle, or auntie, it's there. So, you know, so you tell me that's not, you know, it's not passed on through your DNA somewhere.
Well, yeah, it's got to be. If you're born with it, it's got to be passed on through DNA, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it.
Even if it skips a couple of generations.
Yeah, even if it skips a couple of generations, yeah.
Is it DNA though, or could it be? I mean, my dad was an alcoholic. Fine, you know, let's look at the facts. My dad was an alcoholic. I'm an addict, but then I'm an addict because my brain doesn't function properly. See, I was born 4 weeks late with the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck, and I nearly died at birth. You know, my brain didn't function and grow as it should have done. You know, and it doesn't work like it's one side of my brain doesn't work like it should do. But I mean, could that have led to the way I think as well? You know what I mean? Does it have to be DNA, or could it be external factors?
It could be it could be a little bit of all sorts, but you know, for me, I think it's in your genes, you know, and I think some people have got it there. And, you know, I think for some people, because you hear that some people it don't come out until something's happened in their life. And again, I think it's almost like something you've got lays dormant in your body, that something happens, it like triggers it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's kind of sat there because, you know, and it's there waiting for a lot of people, but it's kind of sat there dormant until some sort of massive trauma happens or something, you know, bad happens in their life, and then they turn to something to self-medicate with.
Yeah, I think there's a story in the big book. I'm sure it's in the big book. I wasn't a particularly great reader of that, but I'm sure it's in there. That this guy obviously was an addict, but had tendencies of being an addict when he was younger, and then made a conscious decision to concentrate on his career. So he didn't drink at all. Made a shit ton of money. And he got to the ripe old age, whatever it was, 40, retired, And as soon as he retired, he started drinking
Yeah.
and became an addict within sort of like a couple of years and was dead within sort of like 5.
Yeah.
He was born an addict, same as me,
Good.
and he obviously suppressed that as long as it can, but it will fucking come out because it's in you. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You can suppress it for a certain amount of time, but that is coming out in you.
But then you said, but then he worked hard.
Yeah.
So, you know, so he's kind of
That's
like addiction. It's
like
an obsession,
addiction
obsession
itself,
in the mind. So he's
Yeah.
kind of found something to take him out the way he feels by obsessing over work or work, you know,
Yeah, it's just
working
like-
harder
yeah,
than a normal person.
Yeah, you're right. It's like swapping,
So it's still like just swapping one thing for another. Yeah. And it's almost like you know, a lot of it comes from that boredom as well, because you don't like being bored, you don't like being on your own. Yeah, but like I say, when I look back at
Sense of loneliness.
yeah, it's like loneliness thing. But when I look back at my childhood, you know, I had loads of addictive tendencies. You know, I was never happy with what I had. I always wanted more of everything. I always wanted to be the best at everything. You know, and I'd be relentless until I got something that I wanted, and then I'd get it, I'd play with it for the next thing. You know, I don't always want to be out playing with my mates or, you know, eating something, or I'm always having something to look forward to. You know, because I never just happy
Never happy
where I
with
was.
that.
I always wanted something.
Yeah.
And I never even really knew what it was.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's a horrible thing, and
Yeah.
that's why I did it. But so like in sort of like my younger years and my teens and everything else, I didn't know back then that obviously the addictions and stuff like that. I just knew that whatever I had wasn't enough, whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah. But then you convince yourself when you've got that, you'll be happy. Then you get it, and you're like,
Yeah.
no,
It's
'cause
just
I didn't
that
get that.
uneasy feeling that you can't
Yeah,
explain.
you just don't really know, and that's
You
you
just
know,
know you're different from somebody else.
yeah. And I know now that's why I've really swapped my bloody cars in, like the going out of fashion, because I thought, right, when I got that car, that'll make me happy, and then I get it, and I'm like, oh, I feel
Are you
the
happy
same.
with your new gear?
Well, yeah, but it's different. But like I say, you know, I get the car and I think, I don't know. I should have got that one. You know, and then I
Yeah.
convinced myself
Yeah.
within a week of driving a new car that wasn't the one. It's because I should have got that one. Then I'd swap it, not caring about the consequences, how much it was going to cost, how much I was going to lose, just to get to another car. And then I do that, and I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just nothing would change, but I've been chasing something but I didn't really know what it was. But I actually realised all I was doing was running away from me.
Yeah,
Because I didn't want to sit with me and see what was actually really going off inside my head.
because
Yeah.
you just don't want to have that realization that something is wrong with you. So you all the time trying
Yeah.
to change how you feel, aren't you?
Yeah, you want that external validation all the time, make everything look right on the outside, and you think that's what it's all about. But it's not. It's about when you're kind of looking at yourself and realise, you know, what you're not doing that's right.
Yeah.
That's how I've changed.
You
Yeah.
see, this might be controversial, but
Go on, Dave, man.
I can't remember what film it's from, but there was a quote in the film that says, as human beings, we will never be fulfilled because it doesn't matter how happy you are, you always want something better.
You
I've
also-
heard that, but I can't remember what film.
Yeah, I can't remember what film it is, but I mean,
It's
you
like
think,
Space
but
Odyssey
if you
too,
think
that
about it, I mean, that makes perfect sense. 'Cause
Yeah,
if,
it
if you always get what you want,
You never have
then
to
you're
worry about
you're
it.
just going to
Yeah,
keep searching
you
anyway.
always want more. You know,
Yeah.
you always set like your little goals, and then you know.
Once you've done it,
You get it.
You get
you're
a
like,
different one.
You want, right, yeah, well, you know, you think, right, if I get that, that's it, I'll be happy. And you get it, and you're like, I need that now. But like I say, you know, I was always booking weekends away and holidays and all that sort of stuff because I was always looking something to kind of look forward to because I was never
Yeah.
happy, you know, and actually, it's because I was running away from me, from the past and all that sort of shit, trying to get, you know, thinking, right, get on that holiday and everything will be all right. You know,
Yeah.
always trying to just let the time just flying by just to get to a certain destination, but then you get there and you think,
Yeah.
and nothing changes, but it's a horrible feeling.
It's just,
It's
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 horrible,
it's
man.
uncomfortable, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
I think I just strive to be content at the moment because that's a nice, easy feeling that I can live with.
Mm.
I
And in
think-
recovery, you are content. by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think after being unhappy for so long, content that's good enough for me. It's
Mm.
I've got what I need, and I'm not pushing myself to get anything that's out of my reach, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, I've got plenty of time left. Hopefully, and I don't drop dead tomorrow. To try and if I decide one day to set myself a big target, then maybe so. But it's just for me, content keeps me on a level. It keeps me getting through that day, and yeah.
But it is a nice feeling content. But that's what I'm saying. When you do the work on yourself and you look inside rather than looking outside, that's when you start to change. You get that peace of mind, and
Yeah.
you're living in the day. That's where the change happens, when you live in the day, not thinking about what you did yesterday or 10 years ago, and thinking about what you're doing tomorrow, and
It's just
the what ifs and the worry and all that sort of
the
shit.
calmness in your head
Yeah.
that comes with it. That's for me. That's the major thing, because my head was just like fucking
Yeah.
matched.
Yeah.
The constant, just constant of everything.
Just
Not just drinking drugs.
and events and just stuff that you can't change anymore, so it shouldn't matter.
Because like I say, because a lot of it's control. Because like I say, since this time round, I've stopped watching the news because it can fucking stress me out. Thinking all the shit that's going off in the
You
world.
need to know how much the price of a litre of petrol is for your new car, Jim.
But what I'm saying is though, I've stopped doing all that because I don't want to do my mental health any good. I've stopped kind of following the herd. If you ask me what's going off in the news, I ain't got a clue, because I choose not to watch it because I know it doesn't do my head any good.
I can tell.
And I do it with all different. I do it with all areas of my life. If anything doesn't sit right with me, they don't get access to me. I just kind of keep my boundaries up.
It's even
because
I
I
know
know.
them things that's annoying.
Yeah, but it's all doom and gloom all
It
the time.
is all doom and gloom, but that's because there's nothing happy to write home about.
But like I say, it puts that fear in me, and it puts me like that control, and it's almost like your head's trying to control stuff, that you've got no control over. And I've been a massive control freak my whole life.
Yeah.
And you don't have any control over people, places, and things. All you can do is control you. And if you what you don't know, doesn't hurt you, does it?
You know about it when you get to the supermarket, fucking hell.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's one of the major things, is just controlling your brainwave and your thought patterns and stuff.
Controlling you and your emotions. That's all you can control.
Yeah, and that was the big, back then. That was the big thing for me. It was. I was, like you said, I was never happy. Always wanted more. And for me, it was more. It was also mainly a mask. It was a mask just to, and like you, it was holidays and cars and houses and wives and presents and fucking jobs and money and. But it was just like a mask to show everybody else I was normal.
Yeah,
Because I thought that's what fucking normal was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And the constant pressure and the constant just brainwaves going fucking 100 miles an hour just to try and make everyone think I'm normal, when I'm not. I'm like fucking duck under the water.
And it's a full-time job trying to make yourself look normal.
Yeah, fucking it is, mate. Yeah, it is.
It is.
Whilst you're going to work as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that whole driven thing is just. I said it. I think I said it last week. Alcoholics and addicts and stuff. We are just driven people, good or bad. And it's. You said something earlier which made me fucking smile. It's just like the margins between good and bad of addicts. You see all these sort of like, say, sportsmen and women or businessmen that are all driven, massively driven, and they're probably addicts.
Yeah.
And they are, and they get applauded for their efforts and everything else. Yet they're addicts. So with an addiction head, because you've got to be. Have that sort of addiction, but you cross that little tiny line, and your addiction then changes to sort of like drinking drugs.
Yeah.
And you suddenly fucking like scum of the earth.
Public enemy number one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the same. That's what I'm saying. That was just about the drive that you have in you as an addict. It's like it's a bit of a superpower. And if you put it into the right
put
thing,
it into the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Because
great.
I've always, like I say, in my sales jobs, I've always been really successful. That's when it was. I mean, I was bad, but it wasn't really a problem.
Mm.
And like I say, and I know a lot of it now because I've always, done really well in any job that I've ever had, and I know it's because I've got that drive in me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I've got it, mate. I in my job, I still keep that side of I'm quite happy with that side of my addiction. Is the drive I've got to do my job, and I pride myself on stuff that I do and stuff because of that drive.
Mm.
And I know loads of other addicts and stuff that are just as prideful and just as meticulous and everything else in their jobs, and it's just. We do sort of like make the best fucking best workers, really.
Yeah.
And I worked throughout all mine, like you. I mean, I was a functioning fucking addict, and to this day, not many people knew what was going on in the background.
No, we don't do it because we're good at masking it.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's a horrendous fucking way to live, but it was like, it was just like,
well, then because you were working and you
Everyone
didn't
thinks
compare
it's
yourself to a
normal.
crackhead or an homeless person, you think
Yeah.
he was all right.
yeah,
I was just unapproachable when I used to go to work. You know, when I was
it's a shocker.
in addiction. No, I just was. You know what I mean? I couldn't be. You know, I didn't like to be disturbed. I didn't like to be bothered. I didn't. But I don't know. I didn't like being that person at the same time.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't. You know what
It's
I
funny
mean?
you say that because there's a woman that watches this podcast and she says, "Oh, it's nice to see that lad on there when he's
You know what? They're all cunts.
when
all
he's
there,
come into
anyway.
the spa shop. He was a right miserable twat."
They're miserable twats, mate. They are, mate. Honestly, customer service 101 over there. You know what I mean? If you're listening.
Well, you know, it's but yeah, I mean, you changed massively, mate. You have.
Oh, massively, yeah. No, that's
I knew it were in there, do you know what I mean? It's always been in there. Like I say, I didn't like the person I was. I just didn't know how to be any other way at that moment in time. You know, I was driven by, just driven by anger and resentment, which is not, you know, it's not the best fuel.
No. So there you go. So could you have done it on your own?
I couldn't have, but again, I will take it back to, I think it depends what you've been through, what's led you to addiction. You know, I think in my early 20s, I went a couple of years without drinking and drugs, but I'd not been through the same stuff I'd been through now. You know, I'd been through some shocking things, but at the same time, I was still young. I still had the ability to sort of put them things, not to the back of my head, but sort of crack on and just say, you know, these things have happened and it's not anything I can do about. But you know, things get bad and you go through more stuff and that stuff comes back again because you think, oh, not again. Do you know what I mean? So I just think it depends on the situations that drove you to where you are, you know, as to how strong you can be. And this time, I couldn't do it without the rooms.
yeah.
I couldn't do it without the one-on-ones. Do you know what I mean? Because I needed that to work through everything I've been through. I didn't have the tools to work through anything myself.
Yeah.
Right, we're nearly up on time, but yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think for me anyway, although I don't go to meetings anymore in the rooms and stuff like that, I think it's imperative for a new person to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's only then that you learn the tools, the steps which take you to actually learn about this stuff, and the drive to then learn and the tools to learn why you're an addict. If you go down that route, then 100%, I think you've got to.
Yeah.
And then come out of it whenever you want. It's not a program for life. You can move out of that and find your own space in life.
And I think once you come out of it and you can think more clearly, you can recognise the signs of it possibly happening again, and then just get back in the rooms then.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the rooms are for life.
No,
They're a must for any newcomer. Otherwise, you don't learn. I wouldn't have learned what I've done. I wouldn't have learned my recovery.
If I hadn't been, I've always said, if I hadn't been for those early, at least the first couple of months, if it hadn't been for the rooms, I fucking would have gone out 100%.
Yeah, I totally agree. Right, so we are up on time. If you are, obviously, need the rooms and stuff, go just find a meeting. There's always a meeting about, or contact Jamie here at Holton Hill down at Drummond Road in Skeg. 100%, he'll sort you out. So, sort you out. Very good. So, thank you everybody for listening. Dick, what are we on and what platforms?
We are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Doing well. We're getting more followers every week. Even on YouTube. Jesus Christ, even the numbers going up nicely on there.
Nice one.
Lovely. Thank you. Thanks for everybody watching. We'll be back next week.
See you next week.
Right.
Cheers.